now turn up.
What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We're giving away a free Jerry Jeudy signed jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber. When we hit 1,000, one of you will get to win it. So what we are going to be doing for a video today is we're going to be comparing the rookie running backs to the rest of the running backs in Dynasty. So a lot of questions are, would I rather have this or 101? Or would I rather have this player, let's just say Mixon or Josh Jacobs or Zeke versus 101? Like, those are some questions that people are having. Now, I will say a lot of that can, if it's close, can be team dependent. Are you a contender? Are you a rebuilder? So this is just in a vacuum. So we're just saying if I had rankings, like this is what it would be like. I know that teams that are rebuilding are going to want younger players. Teams that are competing might want players more in their prime. It is what it is. But we're going to start off with some of the running backs. Of course, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara. These running backs, of course, I would rather have than Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, and Travis Etienne. And so there's other running backs as well. So Nick Chubb, I would rather have Nick Chubb versus these rookie running backs. I would rather have DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. These are also running backs that that are sophomore running backs that I would also rather have. I thought the 2020 class was stronger running back wise than the 2021 class. So, I mean, as you can see, that's three running backs that are 2020 class I'd rather have over the 2021 class. So then we have some running backs that are starting to get close. And just so you have an idea, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams are running backs 12 through 14 right now for me in Dynasty. And that is going to change somewhat because you're going to be teams are going to change that a little bit, and some of these running backs might move down. I'm assuming that they're going to each land in a really good spot. And so when in this situation, I'm having maybe one of them land in Atlanta. Maybe one of them is landing in Buffalo, and the other one is maybe landing in Pittsburgh. Something along those lines. It could change. Maybe somebody lands in a bad spot, like how Drake and Jacobs are now combined in being with the Raiders. Like, that could definitely cause some issues. But we're just going to assume that they're all in good spots for right now. The running backs that are close, and this is kind of depends if you're competing or if you're rebuilding, but we have Zeke. He's only 20, he's 29, or 29, he's 25, about to be 26 years old here soon. I'm actually doing a separate video on Zeke on why I think he still has good value left, because he's not at the cliff yet, in my opinion. So we have Zeke. We also have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who really had what we can quote unquote disappointing first year. But I personally would rather have those two ahead of these rookies. Again, depending on team structure and everything like that. We also have Miles Sanders, who is the last kind of running back that I would rather have majority, and it could be anywhere from like 51% of the time I'd rather have them more to like 95% of the time I would more rather have them. It all depends again on this roster construction, so don't yell at me saying I'm a rebuild team, why would I want Zeke over Najee Harris? I wouldn't. I would rather have Najee Harris. If I'm competing though right now, I would rather have, if I'm going for a championship in 2021, I am rather having Zeke over like a Najee Harris. Like, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's why different players have different rankings, different values based on your team construction. So again, Najee Harris, then Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams are 12, 13, 14. What running backs are close to him though? The running backs that you could probably debate with, first off, right off the bat, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is at 26 years old. He is closer to the cliff in my opinion, and that's why I have Derrick Henry that low. I mean, I think he's going to have maybe a year left in his tank. So if you're competing, you might want him there. And I've seen him as high as like Dynasty running back number 5, and I've seen him as low as like 20. And right now he's my number 15. So other players, we're going to go through 4 of them. It's Mixon, Eckler, Gibson, and Akers. So Mixon, of course, he's 24 years old. He feels like he's been older than that. He's only a little bit older than Najee Harris, but Again, with the Bengals offensive line being absolutely horrible, it'll be interesting to see how he can rebound through this. He also signed that second contract, that chunk. So he's going to have maybe 2 years left in his, I think, in his tank. I think Mixon's a really good like RB2. I don't think you're going to see RB1 out of him, and I don't think you're going to see like RB4 out of him. You're going to see really kind of the safe RB2, maybe high RB3, which is fine in fantasy. I think like you're going to see some of these good weeks and some of these weeks that you're just going to be kind of frustrated with. And that's why he's RB16, which I think easily you could see Travis Etienne have a similar like career as Joe Mixon, where we go, yeah, that was good. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. Like some of these running backs, we have so much hype. Miles Sanders falls kind of right into that category too, where it's like we have so much hype for them, but then all of a sudden they don't disappoint for the sake of like they don't bust, but they aren't Jonathan Taylor. They don't have like an RB3 season in their belts, so they end up being kind of this fluctuate between a low RB1 to a high RB3, and they just kind of get stuck into this, purgatory, I believe they call that. Austin Eckler, I really like his ability now, but I do think the Chargers are going to get a running back either in 2022 or 2023. I think that's going to be a problem for Austin Eckler long term, and that's what we're looking for dynasty-wise. And then two other running backs that's probably controversial because really Gibson and Akers are sophomore running backs. They're young, 22, 20. Akers is going to be 22 soon. So we look at these running backs, and personally, I still think Akers has some room to grow. I watched all the tape. I even watched his tape back at Florida State as well, and he's more of a raw running back. He's had some really good games and really good production, but again, an argument that could be had that he could be better than Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, and Najee Harris. There's an argument. There are some people that even say that he is like another, again, top 5. There's some that say he's the best running back in 2020, and I still think he is the kind of in that 5th category. I personally think that he's below that, and somebody we haven't even mentioned is James Robinson, also in that class, but again, undrafted free agent, so I think that there's going to be a problem there. Again, long term, we're looking these guys compared to, again, the Travis Etienne's, the Najee Harris, and Javonte Williams top picks, and will be 1st or 2nd round picks. In my mind, all 3 of these will be right in there, so you're looking at high draft capital versus maybe a guy like James Robinson that will be lower. But anyway, so we have that. So let's just looking at Antonio Gibson. What's my problem with Antonio Gibson? My problem is his production relied a lot on touchdowns for a Washington team that I don't think is going to have a lot of touchdowns. I don't think their offense is going to be amazing, at least through the ground. I think you're going to have Fitzpatrick there that is going to do some stuff through the air. A lot with Terry McLaurin. I think Curtis Samuel is going to be kind of the same kind of Panther. What can you do? Kind of like slot short guy. And then you're going to have still J.D. McKissick there that's going to be kind of annoying and a pest. So I could totally see Antonio Gibson ahead of these rookie running backs, but I also could see him sitting here as, again, kind of this RB2 type running back. Some of these upsides of Gibson and Akers, yeah, they could have these upsides as some of these rookies. Again, the running backs right after about this 19-20 area fall off a cliff. Like, you'll have Aaron Jones that I haven't even mentioned yet. I would rather have him lower. I feel like he's going to start taking a little bit of not a backseat. I think he'll do well as a Packer, but I think him and A.J. Dillon are going to be into this kind of mixed 1A, 1B thing. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a mess than we think, and so that's going to be an issue. But really, after this like RB20, there's a big drop off, and so there's a lot of wide receivers between. And so just so you have an idea, where are some of these wide receivers that are drafted or not drafted, ranked right around these running backs? And it is, let's see if I'm looking, it's below. So I have these rookie running backs below, like a DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin. I have them slightly ahead of the Cortland Sutton, Kenny Golladay, T. Higgins. But again, it's all on what you believe and what your roster construction is. I'm actually going through rookie wide receivers compared to the other wide receivers, and the reason for why I have a lot of rookies and why a lot of dynasty analysts have a lot of a lot of running backs over wide receivers is because wide receivers are so deep. You look at wide receiver 30, 35, 40, and you're still getting into like even 40s like Corey Davis, and you're getting into Curtis Samuel, and you're like still getting production. When you get to RB 40 or RB 35 or 30, like you are getting backups, or you're getting like you're struggling to find some of these guys that are going to be able to compete or even be helpful onto the roster. So that is going to be some of the biggest issues that I have with the running backs. It's top, and all of a sudden you see all these really good young talent and stuff like that. And I think we're in a really good running back sphere, because I think once these like Kamara, Cooks, Zeke's, once they start falling off the map, I feel like this running back class, the running backs are going to start shrinking on how many running backs are going to be amazing. Because right now we have a good 20 running backs right now, which is incredible. But then it falls off. And so running backs are super valuable right now. And there's a lot of, I guess, variability. I mean, I've seen some running backs in this that are from like, some running backs are ranked 19 on somebody and they're ranked 5th in somebody else. And then the exact opposite. Somebody's got them ranked 19th. The guy who had them 5th for another running back, and the other person's got him 5th. I think that makes sense. So, again, like there's an argument to be made of any of the running backs I talked to over the rookies, but again, I think these rookies are going to land in some good spots, and that's where I would have them. Any other running back I didn't talk about, like Chris Carson, stuff like that, just know that they're behind. They're not even in an argument of these rookie running backs. So again, this is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads, where we do Dynasty Daily videos. You got Jerry Jeudy signed jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber for a chance to win, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Now turn up.